So this session we'll talk about internal rate of return. Okay. The rate of return is widely used to measure the value of investment. This rate of return usually is called internal rate of return because it takes the interest into account. Remember, the time money has time value. It can provide useful information when you evaluate a project based on internal rate of return. And there's a relationship between rate of return and NPV. If NPV is positive, so under what condition you have positive NPV? When you have present value of money inflow greater than present value of money outlay, you have NPV greater than 0. If NPV greater than 0, you have rate of return greater than interest, I. And if you have NPV equal to 0, rate of return equal to I. NPV smaller than 0, you have a rate of return smaller than I. So now let's introduce profitability index. And this probability of index, it is also called discounted benefit cost ratio. When you evaluate a project, you may consider what is the benefit, what is the cost, and do the ratio. And how the profitability, the definition of profitability index is present value of money inflow or present value of money outlay. So money in over money out, that is the index. And when you have money in greater than money out, we have NPV positive number. When you have NPV positive number, profitability index greater than 1, and rate of return greater than I. Okay. On the other hand, if you have money in smaller than money out, net present value is negative number, profitability index smaller than 1, and the rate of return smaller than I. So how do we calculate rate of return? Usually there are 3 methods. One is use financial calculator. Say, we have this IRR function button here. The other method, trial and error. You assume a number to start off, and then you narrow down the interest, the internal rate of rate. The third method is linear interpolation. Linear interpolation. So there are 3 methods. When you do the trial and error, the purpose is to find a discount rate as close as possible, resulting in NPV equal to 0. Most often, people will start choosing the rate of return from 12% to 24%. You can start any percent, but most often the rate will between 12 and 24, the rate of discount. So when you use trial and error, you follow these steps, step 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to introduce them now, but I will use the example to introduce these 3 steps. Okay, so let's look at this example. Assume the rate of discount initially selected is 16%. The resulting present value of money inflow 150, present value of money outlay 120. Okay, so now we are going to use select the rate of discount using trial and error. Step 1, compute the index for the first rate. Okay, so step 1, compute the index. Remember what is profitability index? It is money in over money out. So money in is 150, money out 120. Okay. Any questions? So this results in 125%. So this is step 1, and convert the index into a percent. That is step 1. Step 2, deduct 100% from the index and then divide by 4. So step 2. So subtract 100 from the index. The result divided by 4. Okay, this is step 2. And once you get this step 2, step 3, if the index is greater than 1, so this is my index. See, this is index. This index is greater than 1. Okay. If index is greater than 1, add the step 2 result to obtain the rate that you should use for the second attempt. Okay, so step 3, if index greater than 1, add this number 6.25 with initial value. Initial value is given here, 16%. Okay, and you end up with 22.25%. Okay, so this is your second attempt. So this is when index greater than 1. How about if index smaller than 1? So look at this example. Assume the rate of discount initially selected is 20%. The resulting money inflow 200, money outlay 250. Step 1, calculate profitability index. Money in over money out is the profitability index, and this index smaller than 1. Okay. Step 2, subtract 100 from step 1. Use the result divided by 4. You get -5%. Step 3, when index smaller than 1, subtract 5% from initial 20%. So you end up with 15%. Okay. So this is a trial and error method. Next, we'll introduce linear interpolation. To do what? To calculate the rate of discount. Okay. Again, using the example, assume that the net present value, NPV, of a project is 420 at 14% and negative 280 at 16%. Use linear interpolation to compute the rate of return correct to the nearest tenth of percentile percent. So this diagram shows when you have net present value 420, you have 14%. When you have net present value negative 280, you have 16%. Okay. And the question is, how do you find the rate of discount? So in this diagram, let's say when you have net present value is 0, what should be this rate? Okay, so we set up a point, and then we want to find out this one D here. We call it D. It's like the X, but we use letter D. Okay, similar to the X. And then we use the proportion. Okay, the line proportion. So AB, this line segment from A to B is changed from 14% to 16%. So AB should be equal to 2%, because 16% minus 14% is 2%. This is in terms of I. Okay. And we assume this AX is D%. Okay, AX is D%. Okay. So now we know AX over AB equal to D over 2%. This is on one hand. Okay. On another hand, we also know AB equal to 700. AX is 240. Why? So AB, from A to B, the net present value. So you use 420 minus 180. So you get 700. So on another hand, AB equal to 700. Okay. And AX equal to 420. Okay, 420. Okay. So now from here, you get D over 2% equal to 420 over 700. One equation, one unknown. You can solve for D. Okay, D equal to times 2%. Okay, and you can quickly use Excel maybe. $420 over 700 times 2%. So D equal to 1.2%. Okay. So once you have D equal to 1.2%, so the rate at which the net present value equal to 0 is 14% plus D equal to 15.2%. So the answer, the rate of return on investment is 15.2%. Okay. Any questions? All right. So next example. How do I use calculator IRR function? Okay, or using Excel IRR function. So take a look at this example. Again, this is another important example. Make sure you can work it out individually without looking at the solutions. A project requires an immediate investment of 33,000 with a residual value of 7,000 at the end of the project. It is expected to yield a net return of 7,000 in year 1, 8,000 in year 2, 11,000 per year for the following 6 years, and 9,000 per year for the remaining 4 years. Calculate the rate of return. Okay, that is the question. So again, I'm going to use 2 methods. One is use Excel IRR function. The other is use calculator IRR cash flow button IRR. Okay. So to use Excel, you have to set up this question. Let me see, this is a try to add another new worksheet. Too big. Try to copy this question so that you can see this question here. No, I don't want that. I just want to it is way too big. I don't do it. Do it. This question, but Control C. Maybe I can use. If I use wrap text, let me see. I will just copy this screen to a Word document and then not to Excel, to a Word document. Or the other way is I can just show you this question here. Okay, try to manage multiple windows. So this is the question, this is the question, and then I want Excel. This is my Excel. Okay, so this way you can see both the question and my Excel worksheet. Okay, so let's do this. So initial cash flow is 33,000. Okay, that is a negative number. Okay, so negative 30. Oops, no, not here. Here, negative 33,000. It is expected to yield a net of return 7,000 in year 1. So 7,000 in year 1, and then 8,000 in year 2. 8,000 in year 2, and then 11,000 for the 6 years. So 11,000 will happen 6 times. Okay, 11,000 for the 6 years. And then 9,000 for the next 4 years. 9,000 happened 4 times. 9,000. And then per year for the remaining 4 years. But the last year is here. This is the last year. Okay. What happened in last year is that you also has a residue. Where is my residue? See, residue 7,000 also happened in the last year. 7,000. Okay. In last year, you also have 7,000 residue. So the last year benefit should be use 9,000 plus 7,000. Okay, so equal 9,000 plus 7,000. That is the last situation. Okay, any questions for arrange the data? Any questions? All right. So once you have this all set up in Excel, you just type in equal IRR, opening bracket, and then select A1 to A13. A1 to A13. Enter. So this is your answer, depending on requirement, how many decimals you want. Okay, so this is the answer, the rate of return. As you can see, the important thing is to arrange this data in Excel format and also pay attention to last number. Last number, usually you also have residual value. You add residual value to the last year benefit. Okay, any questions? Okay, now how do I use calculator to do this? So to use calculator, I want to show 3 screens. So this is original question. And this is the Excel data format. And now calculator is here. Okay. So how I'm going to use calculator? Remember, when you use cash flow I have to type in this down because this is important. Many students make mistake. Hey, why I cannot get correct answer? Because you didn't clear your worksheet after you press CF button. Okay. See, after you press CF button, you have to click second clear work, CLR work. You have to do this. This is important. Okay, so I'm going to show you here. Again, this is the question, this is the data. Okay. So CF, cash flow. Okay, cash flow, CF. What you need to do, can somebody remind me? After you press CF, what do you do? Clear work. So this button here, okay, click second clear work, CEC, second CEC. And then enter initial value. It is a negative 33,000, negative, enter, down arrow key. Okay, so next cash flow is 7,000, enter, down arrow key. This 7,000 happened once, so F frequency is 1. 7,000 happened once, down arrow key. Next cash flow, 8,000, 8,000, enter, down arrow key. And this 8,000 happened once, so F frequency is 1, down arrow key. Next one, cash flow 11,000, enter, down arrow key. And this 11,000 happened how? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So frequency is 6. Frequency is 6. Enter, down arrow key. Next one is 9,000. 9,000. Enter, down arrow key. And 9,000 happened 3 times. Happened 3 times. So frequency is 3. Enter. Okay. Down arrow key. Next cash flow is 16,000. 16,000. Enter. Down arrow key. And this number happened once. So frequency is 1. Okay, frequency is 1. So you entered all the cash flows. Okay. Now press IRR key here. This is IRR on the second row false column here, IRR, press, okay, and then press CPT button, compute. See, you get exactly the same number as I get here, 27.1246%. Okay. Any questions? All right. So I'm going to take attendance before I forget. Oops. I have trouble locate Microsoft Teams button on my computer. Where is that button? Where is that window? Oh, it's here. So I'm going to take attendance, participants. Thank you so much for your participation. So I took your attendance. And then, any questions so far? Okay. So, this lecture, we actually did 3 things. Okay, we have 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm going to do some small exercise, but I want to summarize what we have done so far. We did discounted cash flow, chapter 16, session 1, net present value, session 2, return on investment, session 3. Okay. So now I'm going to do some small exercise from this chapter. Okay. Try to find some questions. Okay, this one here. Let's do it. View, large. This one is easy. Maybe I'll do that present value. Okay, let's do this one. Small exercise. Okay. So our contract is estimated to yield net annual returns of 31,500 for 8 years. To secure the contract, an immediate outlay of 155,000 is required. Interest is 12% compounded annually. Calculate the net present value. Net present value. This is the question. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, just try to copy this. Okay, the easy way, if I were you, I will use either Excel or calculator. Remember, even you use calculator, you have to prepare the data in Excel format so that you can enter cash flow correctly. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Excel. Immediate outlay of 155,000, so that is outlay negative number, negative 155,000. And then annual return of 31,500 for 8 years. So this number happened 8 times. Okay, so this is, you have to arrange data in this format so that you can use Excel function or use calculator. Now the question asks you, what is a NPV? Okay, net present value. Okay. So if you use Excel, you type in equal NPV, rate is 12%, that is given, comma, and then you select range from A2 to A9, closing bracket, and then plus the initial outlay. Okay. And this is percentage. Because it is net present value, you don't need percentage. So you need to quick format cells. It is number. How many decimals do we need depending on the requirement? Round the final answer to nearest dollar. So 0 decimal places. So read instruction carefully, okay? To the nearest dollar. This does not look good. NPV. This number does not look right. What goes wrong? For 8 years. Net present. Oh, this formula wrong. Should be from A2 to 8. Oops. I re-enter the formula. Should be NPV, rate is 12%, comma, and then A2 to A9, closing bracket, plus A1. Okay, so this is the correct number. Okay, 1,401. This is the formula here. This is the formula. Okay. Oh, this is Excel method. And then how do I use my calculator? Where is my calculator? Here. So to use calculator, you have to refer to Excel, this data format here. Okay. So go to here. Okay, so quick cash flow CF. After you click CF, please click second clear workbook. Second clear workbook. And then enter 155,000 negative number. enter. Down arrow key, 315,000, enter. Down arrow key. This number happened 8 times, so frequency is 8, enter. Okay. And now quick NPV, net present value, NP frequency, then down arrow, oops, it's frozen, oops. NPV, quick NPV, it said what is I? I is 12%, it is given. So you type in 12, enter. Not 122, I type in wrong, so 12, enter. That is I. Down arrow key, you get NPV. And final step, press CPT. Why it's different from the Excel NPV, maybe I have to double check my cash flow. So I go back, no. No, I have to maybe redo it all over again. CF, and then second clear workbook. So 155,000. This is the negative number. Enter. Down arrow key. 350. Oh, I know what happened. 315,100. I entered one more zero before. Okay, it is 315,100. Enter. Down arrow key. This number happened 8 times. Enter. Down arrow key. No, it is actually this happened 8 times. After that, you press NPV button. I is 12. Enter. Down arrow key. NPV, then CPT compute. See, $1,480 and 65 cents. So if I put more decimals here, should be agree with calculator result. See, they agree with each other. Okay. So this is a small exercise to calculate NPV. Any questions? We have about 5 minutes. Any questions? All right. So that's all for this lecture. We still have about 5 minutes. If you have any questions, this is the time. Otherwise, you can go. Thank you so much for your participation. And remember, we have 2 more quizzes. Quiz 5, this coming Friday. Quiz 6, next Friday. And then 1 final exam. Okay. Next week, I will do review to give you some narrow down for final exam. Okay. All right. Thank you again. I will be here for another 5 minutes. If you have questions at the time, otherwise, thank you so much. I'm going to stop recording.